And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Archery D&D stream, Star Wars Edition, Star Wars 5th Edition. I am your Dungeon Master and host, part of the Archery crew, Ranger J 1999. Welcome you here on a Sunday, where I am recovering from yet another expedition on the hill that has basically sapped all my will to live. But that being said, we still have to stream. We still have to keep you guys entertained through all this Corona nonsense. And we are here to play Dungeons and Dragons. And joining me, we've got the cast of characters you've come to grow and love. And we'll let them introduce, and we'll recap, and then we will get into the saga. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We don't read chat on this stream too much, but we'll look here and there and say hi. But feel free to have fun and chat and stuff like that. And yeah. With that, let's let everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with Finn and work our way down. Finity, introduce yourself and your character, and we'll take it from there.
So I play Darabit, a Twi'lek monk that's on the path to the dark side.
The dark side is a place where many have led to cookies. Grim, introduce your character.
Twinkies.
I'm Grim. I'm playing Osk, who is dead at the moment.
Besides that, what's his class and stuff?
Oh, he's a Trandoshan guardian.
All right. DT.
Hey, I'm DT playing your Bith operative saboteur, one of the band guys.
All right, sorry. Corinth.
Hello, I am Corinth. I am playing Talrax, your Sith pureblood Sith Sentinel, who recently went through his trial, and we'll just say it didn't go so well.
No, he failed. And I see you're coming to us from Coruscant, so that's nice. Teals, you're up next, buddy.
By Cornpotha Nunuku, by Chiss Scout Deadeye.
Okay. And last but not least, the Holy Pants Avenger herself, Johnny M. Introduce your character.
I'm playing as Dr. Vornu Wizzy Ladurum, a Chiss female droid engineer and geologist.
All right. So, recapping what happened last time, our two Sith went to face their trials on Korriban. Many things happened. First of all, Finn's character was possessed by a Sith spirit. Still learning the ropes about that one. And our two Sith went to face their trials. It did not go well because they rejected the dark side and went to the light side in their acts, and were both killed outright for it. If not for the intervention of Finn's character, they would both be dead. However, a choice was given. Talrax was brought back, and Osk, Grim's character, is now dead. He brought them back to the ship. Everyone tried to do what they could, but it was too late. Osk was gone. They called in their favor to Angela Kryn, the now Admiral Commander of the GSA, and she gave them a contact to someone she thought. So they burned up their contact in that regard, their favor, for someone she thinks might be able to help them, some Jedi she knows on some planet that they've never really heard of before, or they haven't rolled for it. So that's where we're at. It's going to be a 3-day journey to get there. They've taken Osk and put him in Bacta to preserve his body and have him fully locked in the medical ward. That being said, I will leave it to the characters with any interaction you want to do. This is right. You guys have just taken off, and if you guys want to interact or anything, you can.
So how exactly are we going to convince a Jedi to resurrect a Sith?
Well, they're not known for their love of money.
Or Sith.
Well, I guess that's sort of a given.
They are generally merciful, so
We could always try lying to him and say that he's I don't know, what's the opposite of a fallen Sith? A rising Sith?
That probably doesn't sound good to a Jedi.
Well, he's a Sith that's trying to be not Sith.
I'm not good at convincing people that I'm not blind.
In general, none of us really are.
Finn, in the back of your mind,
one
you
who's-
hear, "You should kill the Jedi."
I mean, unfortunately, one of the better ones at convincing people is the dead one.
Yeah, so suddenly, out of nowhere, you're just gonna hear Darabit just yell out, "But that means we won't be able to get him rezzed." And kind of looking up.
David? Who are you talking to?
Oh, nothing. Never mind. Continue.
I'll walk over and check the oxygen levels in the room.
Make a technology check just to see. Yeah, it looks
14.
fine. Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, there's nothing. So
Nobody's
all
getting
systems-
a cheap high on my watch.
Yeah, and all the systems look good.
I am, as you said, I believe that it may be best for the rest of the crew to perhaps think of a way to interact with this Jedi. I may not be the one to be able to do that, as well as you. I do have some place that I believe I can seek answers from, and I will reach into my one of my pouches at my waist and pull out my holocron that I just got recently, and I would say I will be meditating for a few moments in my chambers, attempting to seek some answers from my new mentor.
Roughly how long has it been, Ranger, since the last time we took like a full rest?
You haven't taken a full rest.
No, I know. How long has it been since our last long rest?
It's since you last before the previous day's events. So you guys are all a little tired.
All right, so we're getting close to needing another full rest, right?
Yes, easily.
Okay.
So what do we know about this Jedi? All I know is they like to save people. Maybe if we threaten some folks in exchange for helping our friend, maybe we won't set off all the thermal detonators in the local town.
Blackmail. That's an interesting way to go about it.
I'm open to suggestions, but it worked well for us, and I'll kind of toss up the thermal detonator prototype that I've been working on. Worked against us. Maybe it'll work against the Jedi.
I mean, it's better than our other idea so far, which isn't saying much, but it is better than our other ideas.
I mean, I know you want to kill them, but right, we need them to work for us first. Right?
I don't want to kill him. Killing messes it up. We won't be able to get him rezzed if we kill him.
Right. No, I mean afterwards, of course.
Oh, afterwards, I don't care. You guys can do whatever you want with him. We just need to we need to just make sure that Oz comes back.
Yeah. What happened, anyways? You never told us. How did he get killed?
I have no clue. I have no idea how he died.
Crazy. Well, I'm glad we're off that planet anyway.
Actually, to be honest, it probably would have seemed obvious when you guys brought him in because he kind of had like a sword sticking out of him. Remember?
Well, I mean, I'm no medical examiner, but it does look relatively conclusive.
I just mean, how did the
Just
sword
saying.
get there? Ugh. Anyway, I don't need to know. We need to get far away from this place.
Yeah, my character's only mostly dead.
Well, what if we just clone him?
Can
Would
you
that
do
make
that?
it easier? I don't know.
Can you clone him?
I mean, I work with droids. It's not exactly the same thing, but
Then
Take a look.
we still have the same problem of how do we get someone to do this for him?
Good idea, though, Johnny. Awesome.
Yeah, that is.
I'm
That
at
made me
a-
go, oh, hello.
Yeah, all of them was like, dang.
I did.
then we
we
could go
forget
get a
about
small army of him. Just send them into combat. Let them pick their own bizarre little names based off serial numbers.
Thank you, TK421.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how we're gonna convince him, and I'm probably not the person to do any kind of convincing.
I can talk to him, but what do we have to offer in exchange to a Jedi? We don't think they'll want money. Short of extortion, I don't know what else might get his attention.
Maybe we could give
Talrax,
him.
Talrax are, well, Talrax are. I'm assuming because I'm not really that knowledgeable about the Force itself. I imagine Jedi are somewhat resistant to, like, Force powers and mind reading, kind of like you were and and Osk was, and how Mika was, right?
It's I believe most ways that would be us forcing or us trying to blackmail would probably have a less than desired result. I think that if we were going to, we would be best trying to come from an angle if there is something we can offer him, whether it is our services or it is of information that he would value, something along those lines. The only other direction that we may get lucky is if this Jedi believes something more in a balance, and if this person, and I look at Osk, as I said, if he believes as I did that his role wasn't necessarily over, then he may at least lead us in a direction if he is not willing to help us himself. If we show up and are not trying to directly harm him in a way, I do not know. But again, I just failed my test for making the decisions exactly in the direction that I am seeking. So that is why I was saying that it is better for, I believe, for you guys to come upon the conclusion of perhaps we should approach the Jedi. I, of course, am able to deal with him in a conversational manner when we are there, but
I don't know if you being there is such a good idea, though.
it may not be. I'm just saying I am more than willing to. I agree. That's why I was
think
leaving it up to you guys.
I would think that it would probably be in our better interest for those of us that are less inclined with Jedi and Sith abilities, probably to go.
You might be the best one, Vornu. If for no other reason, maybe the best angle we come at, since this was someone that Kryn knew, would be to go about it as an officer from the CSA trying to save a member of your crew. You have the credentials now. Might be more willing to help that than trying to res a Sith.
Suppose that is probably a better angle. All right.
Of course, some of this I would say, does depend upon how you read the person when you get there. I do not know if, again, going with deception up front is the wisest choice. I think we should go with as much truth as possible.
If I simply go in with that angle and say, this is a member of my crew that unfortunately has died, I know it's not your normal bag, but would you be willing to maybe undead him?
And the reason specifically why I think a Jedi has a good chance in succeeding in this, perhaps where normal medical doctors might fail, is because it was during a trial in the Force. And that may interest him more, and it may, I know, that is the gamble. Either we either did the right thing by coming here, or we did the wrong thing. I think it will become apparent very quickly. If he is unable to make those distinctions and not know that there are two Sith approaching his world, he probably cannot bring our friend back to life to begin with.
Can I check on the computer network to see if I can find any information about this Jedi? Do I know any of the background or what he might be trying to do?
You'd have to make a little one for just to know what you're looking for. You'd have to make a religion check or something, lore.
Okay. Let's see.
You've heard of Jedi before. That's about it.
Okay. All right, that's fine. We had a name, right? I just wanted to see if I could find any hits with the
She
name.
did not give you a name. She just sent you the information. So the only information you know that the planet is Typhon, and that the Jedi Master's name is Joris Beon. JORASBEON.
Okay. Cool, but nothing else from that. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk.
The planet is a good place to start, though, Jello, and his name. So maybe those two identifiers at least pull up any. Perhaps we could pull up any. Maybe we could request some flight records for in this sector from the CSA as we are approaching. That might be a good idea if we know any other ships that are leaving or going from here.
Is it also possible the CSA may know anything of this Jedi?
She said she didn't know much when she sent us here. That's, or at least, sorry, Ranger. That's what I have written down. At least is that she knew, like you just said, she knew his name, and it was kind of what we didn't want to hear was the answer. That was, at least that's what she gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's just that we at least, since that seems to be our really only option, unless we think cloning would be something we could possibly investigate. But I don't know how much of his mind would go into it.
And we don't want to waste too much time on it either. The longer we wait, the more, even with the Bacta, we're risking any chance of revival.
But I would, if you have any contacts in your academic circles that might be able to maybe give us another option other than a Jedi, that I would agree to possibly go for it, give it a try. Maybe it is at least a good backup plan when and if this Jedi says no.
All right. I guess in my passing, would I know a gifted biologist or doctor? Or...
What are you trying to look for spores specifically?
Would I know anybody that would have the expertise to clone him with his mind intact?
Make a lore check. You can remember anybody like that remotely.
11.
No, nothing comes to mind. You're more of an archaeologist, not so much into new and improved sciences.
I don't know anyone off the top of my head. So I suppose this Jedi is likely our best option.
I mean,
Corn, you're usually quiet. How are you with talking with people?
Get matters done is not a problem.
Kill, turn your mic up.
Sorry. Is it that low?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little low.
Set on the wrong mic.
I have no
it sounds
clue.
like you're distance away. We can barely hear you.
yeah, maybe get closer.
It's been the same settings forever, so that might be an issue. Oh, 1 second.
I think he said that he can get the job done or something like that, right? Kills.
I think he's checking now.
I think I'll leave it to.
Any different now?
That's better.
It's a little better.
I think
Yeah,
these.
that sounds much better.
Yeah, I think it was the headphones that were trying to rob something from it because that's a built-in mic to them.
Okay. Continue.
Sorry. For the sake of getting matters done, obviously I have no problem talking. I'm just not the social aspect.
Convincing the Jedi is going to be a task. Maybe something for, I don't know, Jalo, Vornu, Horn. Maybe you handle that.
I think that idea of going there and approaching him saying it is one of my officers. Tell him that I feel responsible for his death.
Mm-hmm.
That may sway him. I don't have much personal dealings with Jedi. All I really know is what I've heard and read. But they seem like the kind of goody two-shoes types. I suspect that may work as a tactic, but I'm not entirely sure.
No, we can hope for it, I guess. And then Korn and Jalo also now have a rank with the CSA. So if the three of you go, Talrax and I can stay behind and kind of just protect the ship and hope for the best.
Well, I don't have a rank now, but I will. Certainly.
I thought you were given a rank when we were there.
Nobody was given a rank in the CSA. That's actually the Chiss Empire.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually a ranked officer, even in the
No,
Oh,
you're
Chiss
just-
Empire.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm non-military, just for reference. I'm just working on like a contract.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, sorry, I was mixing up the CSA and the Chiss. Yeah.
But it was because of you that we are even in this ship right now. Most likely it should be you there, at least for some reason. I assume that the Force drew you to our location and allowed me to be somewhat back in this state. I do not know exactly what transpired, but most likely you should be the one that is at least able to hear the conversation with this person.
Let me ask you something, Talrax. How do the Force around us look, assuming that the Jedi does the same to gauge us?
Can I make a roll and use a first level sense force power?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can
what
do
you're
that.
asking?
Yeah.
I think that's what he's
Yeah,
asking.
make a
out of
perception
character.
check.
Yeah.
Since
Which
you're
is
using a
the
force power, I think, does it automatically tell you, or do you need to make
I think it
Um,
does, like, detect magic type.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super good
okay.
though.
So when you look through, you tap into the Force and you start looking at everyone. You don't get anything from Vornu. You don't get anything from JLo. You don't get anything from the droids. You sense your item, obviously. You get a crazy strong dark side presence coming from Finn's character, Dara, which is odd. But then again, you don't know as much as you think you know about him, but you're getting a crazy strong dark side presence, dark side energy coming off of them.
Do I see his reaction when he looks
He hasn't
towards
reacted
me?
yet, Finn.
Okay.
But nobody else is conveying any kind of force presence or powers at the moment, other than what I just described.
And it's different than my item. I'm trying to compare it, like if, say, I was looking at someone that just possessed an item like I have.
The holocron that you sense is just the dark side, right? And you sense a presence there. All you get off of Dara is just you feel the dark side, but it's mashed. You can't really get a sense of it other than it's extremely powerful.
Say my initial inclination was for you to go and speak, but perhaps you are more linked to what happened to us than I first thought. You may give our hand away more if you are at least trying to go with not telling as much up front. But again, he will know I am in orbit as soon as we arrive. That is my assumption.
Do we have perhaps an escape pod or something? I mean, how far away would he be able to detect you from?
Make a lore check for me.
14.
I mean, you do know that the Force is an energy field that it's been rumored in the past that people have been able to speak to each other long distances, right? Not so much in words, but feelings and emotions, right? You can get visions in the Force and see things, but you don't know more beyond that. Like, if there was more specifics on how they did stuff like that, you don't really know. You are familiar, you know about it, you've never done it yourself, but the more someone's linked, the more, if, say, something bad happened, right? Like, for instance, if something really bad happened to you, your master would know something, right? Because of your connection. The more of a connection you have, the more you know. Through there, but there's people that transcend that.
So I just made that connection right there with that my master knows that Osk is dead.
You don't know.
Okay. All right. I think there's a decent possibility.
Could be, but some, the Sith look inward and Jedi look outward, but it depends on the connection, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but that's about as far as you know. You don't know the specifics, or you've never actually felt it, and you don't really know enough about it to really be able to convey other than just the generalities of it.
Okay, so then, I would be pretty upfront. I would just say I am assuming a decent amount on this, but if he is, as Angelus Kryn did say, if he is able to somehow actually help Osk, I am assuming that his power should at least be able to sense something in orbit. Maybe if I was dropped off, and do we still have both the ships, or did we lose the one? I forgot.
You lost the other one. You just have.
We did lose the other one. That was right. I was going to say maybe if you dropped me off further away, but again, I assume we should do as little hiding of our situation as possible from my perspective.
But we do definitely want to lie and say that he's not a Sith, that he was just an officer.
No,
I think they're gonna know.
Yeah, I would just start with that, and then if he knows and says right away, I would explain that. If it was me, I would explain the truth. Perhaps you all may have a different idea. That was why I was leaving it to you, since I did just recently not make the wisest of choices.
I think you're right that it may not be best to lie, although I wouldn't necessarily volunteer it up front. Might be best that Talrax and I hang behind, but should he ask, we are just additional members of your team waiting for hopefully the return of our crewmate.
Yeah,
Which is
just remind me, so he doesn't have his lightsaber now, right? That's missing. That's back.
Neither of them have the lightsabers. They just...
Okay.
All you see that Talrax has is this shiny new blood-drenched sword.
Nice. I mean, for Osk, right? So Osk doesn't have any of that, and he is he wearing like Sith robes or something, or?
I don't know. What are you wearing? What were you wearing, Osk? Describe your outfit.
If I remember correctly, he was wearing an Imperial officer uniform at the time. I think it was.
He would have Sith robes,
but
the hood, like the black cloak, but that's it.
He did have the cloak, so.
Yeah, and there is a good chance that this Jedi will, of course, need to see Osk in person. So, yes, he is going to know that Osk is a Sith. There is no way
right
around
now, if you guys have got him in the back to tank, all that shit's, but you would have peeled that off. So he's just in his birthday.
Yeah, we're not dressing him up as a Sith as we take him down. I'm just saying.
I want to make sure we change him out of the
Sith
robe.
Yes, we are doing that before we take him down.
That's where I was going, right?
We're going to just tattoo across his forehead, I'm a Sith.
But we'll do it in a mirror so it looks backwards.
Yeah, it just says Palp for life. The big heart.
My heart Palpy.
One true number.
Well,
I heart the Empire.
Yeah. I also think that it's probably in our best interest to not tick this man off.
It might be also beneficial if somebody were able to scout him. Finding what we may be able to pay him to help him may be beneficial. He may not just want money, so maybe it'd be good to know what his needs are. If there's somebody he knows that needs help.
Hermit?
Yeah. Exactly. There might be something he needs help with, or somebody that we can help as well, something. But
Like I said, if that's not an option, we find what he cares about.
exactly.
And we
It
kill
might
it.
be good
We
to
need more
scout
information
first.
either way. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a little bit of time with Osk. I don't know who would be able to scout him.
I think that we're probably better off if we simply just go and approach the man or
Okay.
woman, whichever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. The one thing that is widely known about Force users is they do tend to perceive things.
Mm-hmm.
With our luck, this one is probably some sort of combat expert and would kill us all if we tried to deceive him. So I would say let's not do that. I don't really feel like being cut in half today. My pants are not lightsaber proof.
Trust me, I agree. And I'll kind of stare at Talrax and be like, that thing hurts, man. That thing hurts. Keep it away from me.
I would also say, though, we don't want to make a deal with an open-ended favor.
I agree.
That-
I mean, I
that
think the
could end
first
up
judge, we
poorly
need
for
some
us.
information
Mhm.
and see what he wants.
I leave it to your judgment, Vornu, to make the deal, but anything open-ended is probably unwise with the Jedi.
Well, I mean, I'm going to hope for the best that he would do it just out of the goodness of his heart because he's a Jedi and they care about all things. But
That is
see
going
what
to
this
require
will
a
be.
lot of convincing on your part, so I will...
well, let's hope for the best. I suppose
Yes.
we should start towards that planet then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
You
we're-
said we do have an escape pod type thing, right?
On this ship?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
like
one.
a small shuttle or something.
Yeah, there's one.
Okay, so I guess Talrax and I will stay behind and orbit.
So just to clarify, are we
But
taking
the
off
escape pod
body
is
with-
like the escape pod is a one-way ticket. It's not like
It's not like a shuttle.
no.
Oh, it's not a shuttle; it's an escape pod. Okay.
Well, there's an airlock. How well do you hold your breath?
Use the
Okay.
force. I think we
Well-
need to land no matter
That's
what.
not how the Force works.
It does
Okay.
seem like we will need to land. I mean, perhaps you and I can.
We'll stay on the ship.
But at the
Yeah,
same
Presence
time,
there may not be the best.
stay on the ship. If we're going to be as open as possible with this man, I'm sure that if nothing else, he may be able to sense residuals of you on us. I don't know if it works like a sense of smell or
Yeah,
how
I
this
think
works, but
I think as soon as we land on the planet,
Yeah.
he will know that there are Sith. That's kind
I
of a given.
agree. The
I'm not
question is-
concerned about him knowing. Right?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
more
it's-
concern of being right in front of him may be the problem.
yeah, I mean, it's not like it was 100 years ago where there's only two of you gallivanting the universe.
Yeah.
So, all right.
The question is,
let's go.
do we bring Osk with us straight
Yes.
away, or do we talk to him first?
Take him with you.
How do we
that's
even
seeing-
transport him? If we've
We
got
have
him in
like
the back
a-
of
we
the
have a-
tank, like,
We have a skiff, right? I mean, I don't think we can take a whole Bacta tank.
Your droid is strong enough to carry it, isn't it?
the back of the tank? Oh, I mean,
No,
we
no.
did-
Take him out of the back to tank.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what's sort of keeping him not rotting.
Right, but if we're taking him to the Jedi, then he shouldn't rot in a matter of hours.
I just don't want to get there and have the Jedi be like, oh, it was a bloody warm day. Your friend is kind of screwed. I go,
Oh, we can bring you close.
we can. Well, I mean, we can always bring the Jedi to the ship, or bring him to the Jedi. But I think perhaps we should at least speak with the Jedi first.
Okay. Like I
I
said,
mean,
I
we
leave
have
it
like
in your...
we have like a skiff, like a transport, right? We can just take that with him if we need to. We had one before.
And we can always just rent a car also if we need.
my out of character, maybe, or actually maybe in character for Vornu. Are we able to remove the Bacta tank and just transport by itself? I thought it would have to be connected.
I'm sure that we could. It's just, would it be worth the resources it would take? I mean, you figure
No.
you would need
I think it would be unwise. We'd risk damaging the back to tank permit.
Exactly. I mean, you got to basically pull the med bay out of the ship and stick it on wheels and drag it. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
and
not worth it.
And we may need the back to tank if this encounter doesn't go well.
Okay. Well, then I guess talk to him first and see what his thoughts are.
Why don't we go talk to him, and if he seems agreeable, we'll radio you to bring Osk on the skiff.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
If that is the case,
if he disagrees and we need to make a hasty retreat, we don't want to leave Osk behind.
I agree.
That's fair.
I mean, again, I'm not the Jedi expert here. How likely to attack first is he? I mean, do they have
you two? Not.
Oh, that's good then. So
us more likely.
That's why you're staying on the ship.
Exactly.
If he doesn't seem inclined to help us, most likely we don't get cut in half. We just come back to the ship, and then we can have a proper burial at space for him.
Make sure that if we do have to bring, that he is aware of who Talrax is, so it is not a surprise.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to lie to them. But,
I know. I'm just saying, make sure you might not mention it at the beginning, but if we have to bring it,
I don't think it'll be my opener. Like, hey,
Okay.
hello.
Yeah.
By the way, my dead
two Dark
Sith
Tower
friend
people.
has this giant sword sticking through his chest. It'd be really nice if you would bring him back from the dead.
And to
Being
be
that you're
clear,
polar opposites and all.
if he helps us, we part ways peacefully, yes? Because
That's the
I don't
plan.
want any animosity if he senses there's some inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be doing us a favor.
I agree. Okay. Just making sure y'all, the Sith, are on the same page.
I completely
You've been rather unpredictable.
I would.
So I would
not
also
have-
suggest that one of you take the skiff back to him if he so requires.
Well, I mean, I would assume that if we're the ones brokering the deal, we would have the present for everything.
I mean, we can leave a droid with it, right? It's fine. You can leave one of your droids with the skiff, and we can radio it in if we need.
Well, I mean, we're not going with his body yet. I mean, we would go talk to the Jedi, see if he's amenable to this. The Jedi may very well come back here. I mean, we don't know what sort of conditions he's in. He may prefer a nice meal and a bath at, the expense of his enemy. You never know.
Do what you can to convince him to do it at his, and we will bring the body to him.
Yeah, and
In
now,
fact, you bring the body to him would be better.
if he's amenable to that, again, he
If
may
he's
want
amenable
to come
to
here.
that.
I would assume that, Talrax, you're nice and pleasant to all of us. How would you feel if the Jedi walked in?
I do not mind. He is coming to help one of our friends that, at least in my eyes, because of my mistake, led to his death.
Smashing. So I can guarantee him that, as soon as he walks in, that the Sith pureblood isn't going to attack him. It should go well, I hope.
Let's go. How far are we from the planet?
2 days.
2 days. Okay.
I would say let's go.
You're
I think we're already traveling,
You're
right?
already traveling to hyperspace there.
Oh, cool. I'm going to go over to a computer terminal, and I'm just going to start bringing up everything the computer has on how Jedi normally behave.
Make a technology check.
30! Natural 20.
All right, you are able to find like general stuff, but like when you try to get like into specific things, you're not able to find anything. A lot of the things you find are kept. It says, "Please visit the Jedi Archives to find out more about this." The Jedi are you do based off what you roll. I mean, you know what the Jedi stand for. Totally different philosophy that you're starting to learn than what Talrax and Osk believe in, right? The Jedi act selflessly. They are very, they like to resolve situations. They're more peaceful. The new Jedi Order that you see after the fall of the Jedi during Palpatine's era have slowly built themselves back up. You see that they have gone back to being more... They've gotten away from being peacekeepers in the galaxy and more of just going about and being more diplomats, more wise people that represent certain planets that go there and try to help the population by, example and things of that nature. And you're not able to find much about this Jedi in there. Again, restricted. No matter what you do, you just don't have access to it. But you get a sense of who the Jedi are, what they represent, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Can I search on the computer also, like, about this planet, if I can see any current events or any news? I guess technology too. 28.
Typhon is the original homeworld of the Jedi Order.
Oh,
that has been abandoned. It is now a kind of like Korriban, except the opposite. This is a lush planet, but huge significance for the Jedi. They've throughout history, you learn they've used it now and then as their home base, but it's more of a place of learning where pilgrimage is made. So that's all you learn.
Can I find, like, if there are any, like, major cities or anywhere we might have a starting point to look for?
Based on what you rolled, there's one settlement that you can go to where the former Jedi archive was kept. There are a few Jedis that are there, but that's all you can find out. Again, you run into the same problem Vornu did, where it's like, please see the Jedi and visit the Jedi archive.
Okay, yeah, so there's no new current events, nothing recent, just kind of the past of the planet.
Right.
That's it.
Their news isn't very good there.
Well, I was wondering, like, there was recently an explosion. He's trying to help, right? Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
They want you to go there and find out there. Visit our planet to find out more.
Next time on Type.
Palrax? Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tarax, do you recall the name of this Jedi again? Thought I'd written it down, but I didn't.
I have my thoughts are completely clouded on the scenario that I encountered before this. I am somewhat at a loss right now. I do know that as I said, I need to spend some time meditating and communing with my holocron. I can perhaps see if I remember it in a little while.
All right. Well, I will go back into my search history on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And since I had looked up everything about the Jedi and this particular Jedi, can I get the proper spelling of his name?
I gave it once already. Do a intelligence check to see if you can remember.
Shit.
You don't
11.
remember.
All right. Does anyone remember this Jedi's name?
What are you trying to look for? Oh, you mean Joris? Joris Benon? Joris Beon.
Joris Ben?
Beon. Beon? Benon? Something like that. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's how it was spelled.
All right. Well, this way, perhaps I at least don't piss him off immediately by saying his name wrong.
Did you find out that Joras is not a man, it's a woman?
Sure. Even better.
And you were able to find out they've recently left the Jedi Order. But they are a Jedi Master.
So what you're saying is she's not on the council, but she does have the rank of Master.
You lose 10 points of health permanently, J-Lo.
I hate sand, and now I hate Jello.
All right. Well, what do we know of this planet that this former Jedi Master is on?
I just give everything to J-Lo. J-Lo can tell you.
Yeah, I'll share what he conveyed.
All right.
In the interest of time. Any other preparations? I think that's about all we can do.
Well,
You know.
that's. I mean, is it a desert planet? Is it a tropical planet? I mean, should we bring her something nice to drink? Or
I gave all that information to the JLo.
that's why I'm asking JLo.
You didn't say the kind of planet.
Yes, I did.
I missed it then. Oh, you said it was lush, so it's like forest based.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, yeah, hopefully we can find a spot to land close by.
All right, anybody else?
I'm not conversationalizing, but I have something I'm going to be doing over the next 2 days. And
Yeah, like I want to.
All right, let's
For
go to
my
you, Telrax.
holocron.
What do you want to do?
I want to look. I want to spend some time with my meditation. Not only typical like looking to the forest for answers, but I want to try and ask. Look into my holocron more and see if not only can I find out.
You
stuff.
get nothing.
Okay.
I mean, you try as hard as you can. The holocron does not speak to you. It's barely glowing. You get nothing.
Can I make a technology check to see if something might be wrong with it?
You can make an insight check.
Okay. Because I remember the guy, the guy that I met, the Sith person, did say something when I was in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
You sorcerer, I'll have nothing to do with you. So maybe something happened to it then.
Make an insight check.
Yeah, I suck.
You can't figure this out. You think that could be the case? You don't know.
Visually,
It does seem
damaged.
active. It does seem active. It's just
Okay,
not
okay.
communicating to you.
It's it's not like the batteries went dead or something like that.
nothing like
Basically,
that.
okay.
You sense dark side. It does not say a word to you.
So, I'm just gonna go through a couple tests of my force powers. I'm gonna try and I'm sure we have some type of a combat dummy set up or something like that. I just want to do maybe a cryogenic blast using my force powers to see if I can actually draw
You have
the
a small
force to
space
use
you
it.
can use it for. Your force powers are fine.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe there was my connection to dark side powers were having an
You
issue
don't know.
or something as well. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just be doing normal, just kind of
Ship duty.
ship duty, but mostly meditation, trying to look for answers, and if trying to get some type of a vision. If there is anything I can do to bring this person back, my crewmate, I'm looking for assistance, basically, in a way.
Not finding any.
Yep.
So, all right, Dara, what are you looking to do?
So I'll be in my room meditating as well, but I'm going to be trying to see what the force is around me that I'm suspecting. I haven't had any experience with this at all, so I'm trying to see what I can replicate based on things that I have seen Osk and
Like what?
Alrax do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to phase shift or phase walk.
All right. What level is that?
Osk do. It is a second level spell.
So you were able to do it, and you hear a delicious purring in your head. When you do, as soon as you get done doing it, you feel like you just worked out for 8 hours straight, and you feel fatigued and tired from doing it, and you feel like you've been hurt, like your body hurts.
Okay.
And you take 20 points of damage.
Okay. I don't get a level of exhaustion or anything, just
Mhm.
okay. So I will, I guess depending on how close it is to the end of the day, I'm
Well,
going to take a
the voice in
short
your
rest.
head. The voice in your head goes, "What are you trying to do?"
Understand the power that you have.
I give power, but I want something in return each time you use it.
What do you want?
You just experienced it. You hear her purring again. I can grant you power, but at a cost.
This may work out well then.
Indeed. You hear like a purring sound in your head.
Okay. I'm going to kind of just think of a way to kind of boost my armor in a sense. And out of character, it's effectively casting a battle precognition to kind of like the mage armor or whatever, first level spell.
Yeah, you're able to do it, and you take 10 points of damage.
Okay. While I'm doing this, do I sense any... Maybe it's kind of a weird way to ask it. Do I sense any change in kind of the strength of the voice at all? Or is it the same kind of voice, happy to be kind of eating away at me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that case, I will do a short rest. This is on the kind of the first night that we came back. I'm trying to get. So I'm going to take a short rest. So I'm going to assume, what's the monk? I think monk is D8. So it'll be 8D8. So let me just roll that really quick. Okay, so I'll recover 36 hit points. That'll put me at there. Okay. And I'm going to try something that I don't know how all the rooms are oriented, but it's going to be kind of obvious for everyone. So I'm going to, let me see, how do I do this? I'm going to try, I'm trying to figure out what the push-pull one is. I think that's force propel and force repulse.
I think there is.
I'm gonna do. Yeah, so I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's force propel and then force repulse.
Yeah, you're able to do it. Each time you do it, you
yeah, I know.
damage.
I'm trying to actually gain practice with it, so I know I'm hurting myself, but I am not used to the force, so I'm trying to see different things I can do, basically, kind of on the first couple days before we get towards the, to the planet. So basically, I'm going to kind of repeat this a little bit just to not go through.
Yeah, you kind of go through the same cycle.
But I'm going to go through that same sequence where I will use some force powers. I know it'll reduce my health. I will take a short rest, do other stuff on the ship, and then towards the night, I will do it again, and then do my long rest. So that's kind of what I'm doing just to kind of get a better understanding of what the power is.
You are able to do this.
And for the rest of you guys, if you want to do anything, you just hear random like screams sometimes in pain from the damage that I take. You will hear things kind of banging against walls. You may hear some lightning crackles, just a whole bunch of different sounds coming. I don't know if anyone is doing anything of that or just not caring. But that's what you will hear.
Kinky.
You'll actually hear very similar sounds coming from the galley as Vornu is in there with her droids attempting to prepare some nice pastries to bring to the Jedi.
Make a... Let's see here.
Explosion, screams, pain, and lightning.
Let's see. Let's make a...
It was at this point she lost another pair of pants.
Finn's in his room screaming the safe word.
I mean, it's
Johnny's making
baking.
pastries.
Make a performance check. See if you're able to perform this action.
20.
Yeah, you're able to make some nice, delicious cookies.
Nice. It's a nice way to open the door. Hi, I'd like to discuss reviving a dead Sith.
You're cutting in and out, Johnny.
Yeah, you're like fading. Your microphone is like fading in and out, Johnny.
Hello, we're from the dark side, so we obviously brought cookies.
Exactly.
That sound better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's much better.
Use the jack key.
All right. All right. If there's nothing else anybody else wants to do, speak now, forever hold your peace.
I want to use the one of the Sith swords to kind of do like at least some martial training with it, since I've never really used one. Or
Make
seen
a
one
dexterity. Make a dexterity check.
before. All right. I can do that.
More of a finesse weapon.
So just a dexterity check.
This is a dex check.
All right, got it. 16.
Yeah, I mean you get used to it. It's different because it's got solidity to the blade itself, unlike a lightsaber. But it's exceptionally light. But you can tell that it's exceptionally well crafted, and the metal is unlike anything you've ever seen before. So
Old. Or can I not necessarily tell?
you can't tell, other than
Okay.
it's just the way it feels in your hand, and it's just it's almost like a lightsaber. It takes a little bit of use of getting used to, but yeah, it's a very elegant weapon.
All right. Well, I'm at least trying to get a little bit used to it in case something goes strange as a Sith is approaching a Jedi homeworld.
All right. What you guys are getting ready to do now, we'll see if it's been a couple days. You guys are finally coming in for your out of hyperspace. Make your piloting checks. Teals in Corinth. All right, you guys come into orbit, and you're now in the orbit. You come out of hyperspace perfectly, not any problems, and you guys come up to this looks lush blue world.
Can I scan to see if I can find where that settlement might be?
Yes, make a technology check.
12.
You have a general idea where it's at. You're able to see. There's a lot of unlike a lot of life and vegetation on here. It's the total opposite of Corbian, but you are seeing from your scans just general looks like structures, things of that nature. But you get a general sense on the third continent and the northern hemisphere that there is might be where you need to go. You don't know for sure. Well, you think you know for sure, but because you're JLo, so you can relay that to Teals.
Yeah. These coordinates. Head north, please. I think this is where the settlement might be.
Can I insight to make sure he knows what he's doing?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Do I deception too? Because I'm trying.
You can, okay, make a deception check.
19.
Oh. Yeah, you know that not only is he full of shit, but he's trying to hide the fact that he's full of shit.
What I do, man.
All right, so I'll try and do what I can to utilize my own tracking abilities.
Make a survival check to see if you can use what you were just told to see if you can, because you come in. Well, first make a piling check for me, Corn. Yeah, you're able to easily get above. Your approach is fine through this northern part. Make a survival check to see if you can kind of figure out from the mad ravings of Mr. Potato there.
No.
You
See, I told you it
think
was
he
this
is
way.
correct. You think, you know what, you thought that he's got to be right, because there's no way you're missing this. So you fly over, and you guys, all you find are mountains and lakes and all kinds of stuff. You see some giant statues and some forgotten buildings and stuff like that, but you're not seeing what would look like a Jedi archive, nor are you getting a sense of any people.
Are we?
You know what, Jalo? I don't believe
You spent
you,
about
but you
2
know
hours
what?
doing
I'm gonna
this.
go with it.
Yeah,
Are we close enough to the surface where I could do like a perception check out of the?
No.
Okay.
These Jedi are sneaky. They must be hiding somewhere in these mountains. I don't know. Talrax, do you sense anything? You sense the presence of anyone?
I don't know. Do I? Can I use a sense?
You can, but you have to make a perception check in the Force.
All right, I'll do a perception check. 22.
Yes, these two imbeciles are way on the other side of the continent where you need to be at.
I'll say, perhaps it is good that I assist at least in the very beginning. This is the direction that we actually need to go. I'll point in the correct place on the map.
Oh, those Jedi must have some interesting stealth.
I'll look back at him. Thank you for letting the Force guide us instead of me just looking around like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, he let you do it for 2 hours because you guys are like, no, we got it.
We got it.
It should be here. I don't understand. It's what the map is saying.
As it's right here. It was upside down.
All right, so you guys, as your ship approaches, you can see that it looks like kind of like a cutout of a mountain. You see two Jedi statues, very worn out on either side of this entrance with stairs coming down in kind of a step pattern. There's levels to each one, and you see that there's some other structures around there and stuff. And from what you can see, there are 3 figures in white robes on the very top of these stairs, and you see that there is a landing area for you guys if you want to try to land, and that would be on you, Korn.
Look back at and say permission to land. Talrax.
Yeah, we might as well go for it.
You land with no problem with your amazing piloting skills. So, you touch down, and what do you guys do?
I will start to head for.
I'm gonna check the scanners just to make sure the planet is not like so hostile that I need the environmental suit. I assume it's okay, but I'm always
everything's fine. Just think Earth.
Okay.
I will head for the airlock, making sure I am still.
You're doing what, Johnny M?
I'm heading towards the airlock, making sure I am not in an Imperial uniform.
Are you in an Imperial uniform? I don't know what you're wearing.
No, I'm going to be wearing like as civilian-y looking clothes as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wearing regular clothes as well, and I'm going with him. I'm also not taking my blaster.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go unarmed as well.
I have my hidden blade, but I don't have a gun for reference.
All right. There are 2 that are going, right?
I think so.
Think anybody else
Anyone else coming with us?
Korn can go too.
Wasn't I going to? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Korn
sure,
is
yeah,
going
come
also.
on. I thought you were going to bring the skiff.
I mean, it doesn't seem like we're far away.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's do it.
All right, you guys go outside. You can see the sun is shining. It's beautiful. There's birds chirping and everything. And huge trees. Like when you guys actually get a chance to look at these trees, think redwoods on steroids. Just lush life everywhere. Flowers and all kinds of things. But there's a lot of ruins here as well. But you see the vegetation is kind of growing off it, like as you guys are walking up these steps. And the steps are a lot. Like it's a couple hundred steps to get to the top of where you're going. But you see the 2 on either side of these 2 figures look like they're very carved. The faces have kind of worn out and stuff, so it doesn't really have any distinct figures as you're walking through. But they look like they are 2 Jedis in robes, right? And you guys start making your way up these steps. And up the steps, and it's a lot of the goddamn steps. You guys get to the very top, and you see a woman in complete white Jedi robes with a white robe. The only thing that's not white is her boots. She's wearing brownish, dark brown boots. She has a lightsaber at her side. She's not being threatening. And then you see that she has a hair kind of piece on her front that keeps her hair back, and she's got it pulled back into a knot and stuff. Little tiny bit of wrinkles around the eyes and stuff. You can't really tell what her age is. You can see that her eyes are very kind and stuff. You can see that there is gray in her hair, very dirty blonde hair. You see that there are 2 you assume apprentices, somebody, they're two Jedis, and one's wearing tan robes with tan outfit with brown robes. The other one's wearing a white outfit with brown robes as well, signifying that they are Jedi, and they have their hoods over their face completely. You cannot see their faces. But she reaches up. She's like, "Greetings. It took you long enough to get here."
Hello there.
Greetings.
Hello.
We got turned around a bit.
You were expecting us?
The Force told me you were coming. Dr. Vornu.
Well,
I am curious, though, where are your friends?
we left them on our ship. We figured that
Well, why don't you just go get them?
I'll radio for them to come up to us.
All right, you guys getting radio.
Should we bring the body?
Would you like them to bring our deceased friend?
Yes, I know why you're here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, bring the body.
Okay. So I will, I guess, Talrax, let's go ahead and put Osk on the ship, on the skiff, and bring him over.
The radio. That's a tremendous amount of stairs.
Johnny, your mic just went poop.
Yeah, but I heard you say there's a tremendous amount of stairs. But yeah, your mic is fading out again. Yep.
No.
No, it's still faded out.
It's really low.
But yeah, I think with both of us, we should be able to carry him.
Yeah,
so.
you can
Let's
set
take-
there's a
let's take a
floating
role play,
platform.
look
You
at-
don't need a skiff. You've got one of those medical transports where you can just put the body in and it floats next to you.
It's a grav
Okay.
lift bed.
That
Yeah.
better?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
better.
much better.
Huh. All right, I just changed USB ports.
Blow that
Yeah,
one
so
out.
we'll use one of the medical beds and bring him up there.
I just really wanted to see the two of you carry a soaking wet dead body.
The droid
Yeah.
prepares it and puts it in there, and you guys are able. It floats next to you, so it's not that hard. One of you just has to
Okay.
hold to the thing to take it with you. And as you guys get outside, you come out the back ramp. You see there's a bunch of damn stairs. I mean, a lot of stairs, and oh boy, you hate the stairs. But you get to the top, and she kind of smiles at you and is like, "Lord Talrex, ask what you've come to ask me."
I look down for a moment and then look up and say, our crewmate Osk fell to his death recently. I was
know.
hoping there might be a way through your abilities to bring him back.
Possibly. But why bring him here? Why do you care as a Sith what happens to your friend?
For one, he was a member of our crew, and he had helped us through many tasks, and were it not for him, at least at one stage, most of us would have fallen. And another, I don't believe that was the correct choice in that situation. Had I chose to...
For a Sith it was. Why didn't you choose the other path?
My main reason was that I believed that he could still be of use to us. And me especially.
Is he of use? Or is he something else?
I hope that each of us is something else. Do I
It's
know
not
for
the
sure?
Sith way. You're dancing around my questions. If you want my health, be truthful, my friend. Why are you helping your friend? This is not the Sith code. This is not the Sith way. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power.
I believe that I might have a somewhat... I'm not sparing him out of a sense of good or or wanting him back for something along those lines. I believe that he has a purpose that still needs to be served, and he could help me achieve mine. Those were the reasons that amongst those, and
are you being
mainly,
honest about that answer?
Yes, I am. That I am being 100% honest about that answer.
Then I can't help you.
I was not even assuming that you could. I had to at least try.
Well, you're not being honest with yourself. And you're not being honest with me either.
To the best of my knowledge, I am being honest.
Well, you're in the sense that you say that he's just a valuable commodity, but commodities are like anything else. Why risk coming here? Why risk trying to bring him back? For what? So you can achieve your goals? What are your goals?
Ranger, out of character really quick. That whole passion, strength, all that stuff, that was said in character by the Jedi, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
I have not known much in my life. Anyone that has helped me and has been a crewmate and a loyal companion, as Osk was, I would want him to be able to fulfill his destiny instead of being struck down in a cave for, from what I could see, was no reason. I was being told to kill this person, and each of us together could fulfill our code and what we eventually want much better.
That's
combined.
not the Sith way.
Perhaps that is why the Sith are not as powerful if they could be.
They're powerful. Let's not kid one another.
But I believe that if you worked together, you could also
But that's a Jedi
conquer
path.
more and
that's a Jedi
bring their
teaching. That's
their
not a
beliefs
Sith
down. Well, that is why I have only progressed so far in the Sith. And that is why I guess I did not pass my trial.
What are you hoping for me to do? And what are you willing to sacrifice for it?
I did not know what it would even be required to do this, but I think that we would, for one, be willing to sacrifice a significant amount. We could.
I don't care about money.
Well, but I in the form of services. I think that if there is something that you
need. What service could you offer me as a Sith?
Even though you are saying from a Sith perspective, recently we did stop some dangerous drugs that were being transported between worlds.
She gets kind of annoyed with you and looks around at the rest of you. Dr. Vornu, why are you here?
Well, honestly,
and how come you didn't share those cookies you made for me?
Well, I offer some.
She takes a bite. It's quite good.
Well, thank you. It's an old family recipe. Honestly, I don't like to see people that I work with die. By trade, I'm a scientist, so we don't normally have the most dangerous of profession. I will never pretend to understand the Sith or the Jedi way. It just seems like a horrible waste of potential to randomly kill a person while trying to see if they're any good at what they do.
Interesting. And then she looks over at you, Korn. And you?
I'm loyal to my crew and loyal to my friends, and I've developed a relationship, and I do not want to see him fall as the pilot, and I do what I need to do to make sure we're taken care of.
And then she looks at you, Dara. And you?
I look for strength. I look for power. And I've learned that power comes in numbers. And Osk has proven to be a friend that has helped.
She ponders this. Strange to hear the word friendship come from the people that serve in the Chiss Empire.
common tasks lead to friendship. It's not something that, as a mercenary, I ever expected to come across. But everyone has their limitations, and it's good to find.
She looks around to all of you. What are you all willing to sacrifice for your friend?
Well, I made you cookies.
She kind of smirks at you. Really, the cookies? Or what would you really be willing to sacrifice?
What sort of things are we talking?
That's the question I asked you. It's not for me to direct to you. What will you be willing to sacrifice to help your friend? Dr. Vornu.
I don't even know where to start. As I said,
what are you willing to sacrifice?
I mean, you're probably not interested in money.
I didn't ask about me. I said, what are you willing to sacrifice to help your
I would
friend?
give up money. I mean,
okay.
It's probably not something that
she
you're
looks
looking
very
for.
disappointed at you.
I don't really know what else I would be able to give up. I'm a scientist. I like rocks.
She's like, well,
Can I move forward at this point?
yes.
I mentioned I'm after strength, but I find that there's more strength in numbers. I had this hand cybernetically placed. There's an implant in there that makes me stronger, but I feel I'm stronger with Osk than I am with it. I'm willing to sacrifice the strength that I have in my cybernetic hand form.
What would you sacrifice for him?
I will sacrifice my hand.
Interesting. She looks around at all of you, and then at your friend. All right, bring him. Follow me. And you guys follow her inside to the inside of the Jedi Archives, and you see that the two other Jedi there kind of back away, but are just kind of following you guys on the side. You go into this huge opening, and you guys walk in, and you see just this huge room, unlike anything you've ever seen before. And she's like, welcome to the Archives of Typhon. And she leads you to this main giant chamber, and you see statues of Jedi and other things like that. And then she takes you to another long giant hallway, and you guys seem to walk forever down this hallway. And she takes you to the left, and then you go down another long hallway, and then she takes you to the room where you see in the middle is this, looks like you're in the middle of the mountain, and inside there's this hole cut out of it, and you see sunlight beaming onto the platform. And she says, put your friend there.
Okay, I guess Osk or Calrax and I are still bringing Osk, so I'll bring him over there and then put him wherever she's directing.
All right. And then she looks at all of you and says, for this to work, your friend's soul was taken from him through the Force. To bring him back, a ritual must be performed. And you must mean it. If any one of you waver in this, he will not be brought back. It's not without risk. But if you're willing to do this, we can try to bring your friend back.
I'm willing.
If you're not willing now, then say so. And then we can go about our merry ways. Is anybody here not willing to step up and do what must be done for their friend?
What must be done?
I will tell you, but first you must agree.
It's a little hard to agree when you blindly are agreeing to something.
Let go of the scientist, Dr. Vornu. It's a question of faith.
Why are you so eager to help us? Jedi are no friend. So.
The Jedi are a friend to everyone. Force wills it to be so.
I don't pretend to understand the Force, but
Force
I'll
is
submit
easy to
myself.
understand. The Force is a universal energy that surrounds and binds us, penetrates us. The Force tells us its will. It balances the universe and everything. Do you think us standing here before us are really what we look like? We're energy, part of the Force. Look around this room. Between each of you, the Force flows.
I've never been able to get in touch with that connection. I
Some
trust.
some are not. But whether you can feel the Force or not, the Force is always with you. And always will be. Those that are able can tap into the Force. The Force is not good or evil. It's the person and their philosophy. She looks at you, Talrax, that dictates your connection to the Force. Jedi try to understand the will of the Force and follow its teachings and learn from it and be in symbiosis with it. The Sith use it to dominate and use the Force in their own actions. The Force is the Force. It does what it does. Now, Dr. Vorner, are you willing to place your faith in this?
I mean, I am not somebody of faith, really. I'm somebody of facts and figures.
She looks at you and she like picks you up, not in a forceful way, just picks you up. Does your science explain this?
Well, I mean, I've read things on parasitic organisms in the blood of Force wielders.
I'm not asking you about a scientific. Explain this. How am I doing this?
You're a Jedi, that's how you're doing it.
And I'm using what? The Force?
Apparently.
So, do you have faith that I might know?
I have faith in the fact that you know what you're doing.
But do you have faith enough to help your friend?
Again, you're asking me to put faith in something blindly.
Yes, I am. Make a choice.
All right.
What about you, Dara? Do you have faith?
Yes, that is.
Dara, not Talrax.
I have faith now.
And you, Talrax?
That is why I came to this planet.
And you, Corn?
Of course.
All right, then stand around Osk. And you see her eyes close, and then she opens them up, and they are glowing blue. And you see all of a sudden around you runes light up around this room, and you see like blue light comes off of them. And then you see her voice change, and it echoes throughout the cavern. And she tells you, when I tell you to touch Osk, do so. And she looks and she starts, Dara. And you see her, she's got her hands on his head. She's like, Dara, place your hand on Osk.
Okay. I take my cybernetic left hand and put it on Osk.
When you do, you feel this wave of energy, peaceful, calm. You feel that strength is... It makes you question everything you've ever thought about. You see things that you've never been able to see before, right? As this energy cascades through you. And you see that your quest for strength and power, it just doesn't make sense to you all of a sudden. Because you feel this euphoria wash over you. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well,
I'm sorry, with advantage. I forgot to say that.
14.
Okay. You feel like yourself giving away, like you want to become a part of this, but you back off at the last second and you put down there and you hold status. She then asks you, she says, Vornu, touch Osk.
I'll place my hand on his chest.
All right. You feel the same kind of euphoria wash over you. You see your life through the force pass before you. As you go back through when you were a small child and how you became interested in archaeology and things of that nature, and your fascination to learn, and you remember that learning history and learning about civilizations lost was really why you became an archaeologist more than anything. And you feel this wash over you, happy moments in your life, right? And then you feel that those kind of memories wash off you as the energy kind of starts cascading into Osk. Make a Constitution saving throw with, make a Wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Mine was still a Constitution, right?
Yours was Constitution.
Okay.
18.
Okay. She then calls out your name, Corn.
Yes.
Touch
Reach out
Osk.
and place my left hand on him.
Okay. You remember, you feel the same euphoria, and then you remember a moment comes through you of, like, it's like all three of you feel this, like memories being pulled, right, of who you are and why you are who you are. And you remember everything about you, but mainly the stars. You remember your whole life just being fascinated with the stars and being able to fly among the stars and just the adventure of being there. And you feel those joyful memories come through you and reach out and then start transferring themselves into Osk. And then she looks at you, Talrax. I'm sorry, not Talrax. JLo. JLo, place your hand.
I'll reach down, put my hand on Osk.
All right, you reach down, and then you same euphoria and stuff. You remember. I didn't have you make a save, Corn. I'm sorry. Corn, make a dexterity saving throw with advantage. That's you, Corn. Okay. DT, you remember just why you love building stuff. You're always fascinated. Your mind has always been fascinated with the ability to just to tinker. You know, you've always been into like fixing things and understanding how things work, and you forget that that's why you started being the builder that you were. Not so much for weapons, but just in the general sense. You remember all the memories of all the, just the challenge of it, of learning, of computers and technology, and just being fascinated with it. And you feel those moments of happiness wash through you into Osk. Make a strength saving throw with advantage. Okay? And then finally, Talrax. She looks at you and she says, reach out to your friend.
I'll place my hand on whatever is his sword arm. So, like, if it's his right hand, then or his right arm, then I'll place it on his bicep.
You feel the same sense of euphoria, but then the conflict within you rages. Unlike everybody else, you feel the pull of the dark side, right? That temptation, that thirst, that hunger for power, right? That you've been brought up with. But then you feel the pull of the light side at the same moment. Peace, calm, serenity. At the same time, your mind is being pulled in two different directions, and it's a fight for your soul. Make an intelligence saving throw with advantage. 14. All right. And then you see her head leans back and then you see her eyes, and then all of you looking at one another are bathed in this white blue light as Osp's body starts to, you start seeing energy seep in, and you see all of a sudden this red explosion pops out, and you see this figure in gray armor pop up and looks down and says, "This one is mine." And Osk, are you there, Grim?
Yes, I was getting a drink of water.
You feel like you've been falling forever in darkness. Like no time, no space, no nothing. Everywhere you look is dark. You feel alone, like you have been forgotten. All you remember is the sacrifice you made and then nothing. You feel nothing all around you. You feel empty inside. And then all of a sudden, a light appears. And then another light appears. One seems to be of this white light, and this other one of this red light that locks onto you from two different angles, one from your right, one from your left. And you feel this ungodly pain as you feel like your soul is being shredded in both directions. I need you to roll me a D100, please.
D100. Okay. Break out the die roller here. It is 92.
You don't know what to do. You're being... the pain is excruciating. All of a sudden, your friends pop into your mind, but in a way you've never known them before. You see images of these happy and just really incredible feelings pop into your brain. You see Vornu's love of ancient civilizations and the joy from that. You see the love and joy that JLo has for technology. You see the love of the stars that Korn has in the adventure. You see the warrior spirit and the thing for strength that you get from Dara, and then you feel just a kinship with all of a sudden Talrax, who you see like trying to fight on your side, and at the last set you see this beautiful looking woman with hair pulled back and stuff reach out a hand, and then you see at the same time you see another figure in the red light like trying to reach out with his hand and like trying to rip you apart, but then as the last second you see the light explode and you get pulled into the light. You guys on the outside, you see the spirit, and you see her and the spirit both with their hands facing each other, and you see, and you guys feel this. The pain is excruciating. This tug of war for Asuka's soul, and you see her with her light, and just at the last second, just like it's like just high. No one seems to be winning or losing. All of a sudden, you hear this scream of agony from the Sith spirit, and this light explodes. You guys are all knocked back 30 feet. Everybody make dexterity saving throws. All right, everybody takes 20 points of damage unless you saved, which was 15 or higher. Then you only take 10. As you guys are just blasted back from this energy transference. And you see her with her hands over. When you open your eyes, you literally see this woman looking down at you with this smile, but perspiration and sweat all over her face and stuff. And you see she's in terrible pain.
Okay. He's confused. Very, very confused.
You take a breath in, you're like, and that's the first thing you see. And she winces, and you guys see this. She drops to a knee, and then she drops to another knee, and then she collapses. What do you guys do?
Immediately go to Osk.
Can I go and check her for a pulse?
Yeah, you can check her.
Check her as well. I'll give her one of the cultipacks, the healing stems that I have. See if she can come to.
Osk, is that you? Are you in there?
Is there anything wrong with me at this time? Like, am I able to speak or anything?
Yeah.
What happened?
You.
Where am I?
Where is doesn't matter. You're alive. Let's get you out of here.
Can I do a perception check to be like, oh shit.
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, as far as he knows. Oh wow, yeah, he has no clue where he is.
You have no idea what the hell's happening. Oh, you just saw that lady, and then it looks like the same woman that was in your vision of that pulled you, right? That collapsed, but you try to move and your body will not respond. You can talk barely. When you get to his side, Dara, it's like it's a struggle to like talk at the moment. Osk, you can kind of move your head a little bit to the left and right and move your eyes, but yeah, you cannot move yet.
Okay.
You try to, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna get up. No, I'm not. That's not happening.
It was like the wiggle my toe type thing.
Yes.
So active mind, but non-responsive body.
Yeah, you can barely talk. You can't talk and communicate. You just can't move. It feels like you got hit by a truck, and then someone ran you over with the truck, and then lit you on fire, and then ran you over again.
Talrox, bring the medical bed over here. Let's get Osk on it and get him back to the ship.
When you check, you see that she's collapsed, but she's slowly getting back up. Mornu. And then you see that a couple of those two Jedi come running over. You see one's a young Twi'lek girl, and one is a young human girl. Then they both come over and like, Master Joris, and help her up. Says, I'm fine. She kind of smiles up and looks at you, Telex, like, you sure know how to pick them. Really? Twi'lek horde? She just starts laughing.
Is Talrox bringing the bed? Can we start getting Osk on it?
Yeah. You're able to get Talrox over there. And then they help her to her feet, and she kind of comes over to you, Osk. And she kind of leans over and looks at you and says, welcome back to the living, my friend.
It would be a I need a vacation.
Yes, indeed. She puts her hand on your forehead, and you see her close her eyes again, and she's like, substantial damage. She starts listing everything. You see these guys are using a data pad and list all of his internal injuries that are going to need to be healed and stuff. It's like it's going to take him about 3 weeks to fully recover. And that's with 8 hours of in the back to tank.
You will do it.
We'll make sure he's protected.
We will. We're in your debt, Joris.
You don't owe me anything. It was the will of the Force. However, let's not ever die by an ancient Sith Lord again, if you don't mind, because that really took it out of me. And she starts laughing. And then she almost falters again.
I go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And she looks at all of you. Remember what you felt. Remember what you have learned here. May the Force be with you. And then she walks off with her 2 Jedi.
Vornu picks up the box of cookies that's still on the floor.
You're not even going to leave her the cookies?
Jeez, yeah.
In character.
What a dick!
Yeah, she seemed to like them at least. My gosh.
She'll pull one more cookie out of the box and then leave the box there for them.
I'm gonna start pulling the bed with Osk back over to the ship.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna head down too.
All right. Yeah, I would imagine it's probably not wise for us to remain on this planet.
No, let's get the fudge out of here.
Yeah, for any longer than we have to. So at a safe pace, but a brisk pace nonetheless, we will go back to our ship and prepare to leave.
Get us back in the back of the tank.
Yep.
Yeah.
To recover.
Yep. So you you guys all get back to the ship. You all get situated. You get Osk in the back of the tank, and the Joy's like, "Yeah, this is going to take a while."
Thank you, everyone.
They get you hooked up, and then you guys are able to get into orbit. And where do you want to go?
I say, well, eventually I believe that Osk and I will need to return, but perhaps we do not need to do so right away. Perhaps there is he does need 3 weeks to recover, so we can't really stop anywhere with him being able to get out, but I look to Vornu and Korn. Is there someone somewhere between here and there that might be non-threatening?
At this point, let's just say, at least during the time travel I've been reading Mika's journals, is there anything that I got out of Mika's journals that we can sort of plan as a next step for possibly what we were previously involved with?
Sounds like a good idea. I agree. Perhaps we should send word to the CSA and Angela, since her information was indeed very solid. Our friend is now, well, not walking, but should be soon.
On the mend, at least.
Yes.
Make a history lore check there, Talrax.
Nothing.
Yeah, you don't remember anything. You thought about Angela for a second, like, wasn't there something? No, I don't remember.
It's like
I mean, you have to report back to your Sith.
Well, that's what I said at the beginning. But I don't think it's necessarily something that we have to do right away. But both of us would like to get our lightsabers back. Yes.
What is the ultimate goal of the first trial?
Actually, can I say something, Ranger? Real quick?
In character or out of
It'll be
character?
Out of character.
Yeah, go for it.
Since Talrax and Osk had been through like the basic training as Sith and stuff, could Corinth like do an intelligence roll to remember what some of the rules were?
To do what now?
Here, I'll message you in Discord.
No, just say it. Say it. I don't want to read.
If I remember correctly, yeah, it might not be a good idea to go back to the
Okay, never mind.
after
You
this
can't say that. You can't convey that. Nothing. Out of character. No, that's metagaming. No.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, and I already said that.
So never mind.
I already said I didn't want to go back there anyway. That was already covered.
Should you at least check in with her?
No, not yet.
That gave you this mission.
No, it is not required as right now. We do not need to. If, like I said, if there is somewhere between here and there, let's start there.
Okay, just making sure that a week from now, crazed, pissed off Sith woman isn't going to come.
I am not saying that we should. I'm not saying we should.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we should waste a week, but we can at least stop somewhere for a day or
we
so.
can travel to that
is
could possibly
non-threatening.
find materials to craft a lightsaber.
Possibly, but I think we just need at least a few days for him to be able to walk if we are going to have to go back to our Sith Master and present ourselves.
Or we can always go back to Korriban and let you two have another crack at it.
No.
I don't want to go back there.
No.
Not after what we just...
I do not. No. And I don't think it would be. It was what is meant either way. So, I I think it would be wise to just let's stop at a planet where some things are at least non-threatening and have a drink and at least a few.
I'm forgetting.
meals.
I'm blanking on the name now. But Mika's gone. Zonos is gone. Why don't we go back to the planet we were on, the hut one? Doesn't seem to be any threats, and CSA controls it.
Dara, make a lord check for me, please.
This is gonna be awful. Hey, natural 20! Hooray!
Natural 20. Wow.
Thank God. You remember, you have full access to the entire CSA facilities, medical facilities, things like that. You have, if you need anything, you can go there.
Well, we're trying not to go there because the Sith Master was there last time. I think
No, it wasn't. That was in the Chiss Sith Empire. You keep getting those two confused.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, we went back.
Yes, we went back to the Chiss Sith. That's where we met her, so we can go to the CSA. So let's go find Angela, and we can tell her in person.
That was my initial thing to do, but I only rolled a 6, so I forgot about.
Yeah,
talking
natural
to
20
her.
helped us all. Okay, let's go to the Chiss Sith.
No.
Can we find
No, the other ones.
The CSA.
CSA. Let's go to the CSA. Can we find the nearest place?
The next
For the
set of
CSA.
allies that we make need to have different initials.
Yes. Too many similar initials. Because I am saying CSA as the first one is Chiss Sith.
CSA, CHA,
Yeah.
CBA.
Yeah. CSE. Okay. So can we find the nearest
CBS.
CSA thing? I know we got all the information. Korn, are you able to find it? Jalo, in our systems.
We have
the
coordinates, right? She gave us. Or do we need to?
Yeah, you know where to go.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to the CSA place and recover.
All right.
Okay.
You're gonna
Their facilities will indeed help Oz get back on his feet quicker.
Perhaps, yeah. I guess plotting the course.
All right, make a piloting check there, Corna. All right, you guys plotting your. You know where to go. Yeah. So you make your plot and you make your jump, and then you guys are off. It's going to take you 2 days to get there. To get into CSA space. If you want to message Angela Crane, you can let her know you're coming, or you can just show up. You do have credentials, so it doesn't really matter. It's up to you guys. How do you guys want to approach this?
That's probably not a bad idea to radio ahead. Just, hey,
Yeah.
hi, on our way.
I think we should thank her.
We'll thank her in person. Let's just let her know we're coming up. I'll leave it to Talrax, whichever way. I think we just need to let her know we're coming.
Yeah, so I'll send a message forward to the CSA or to we've spoken to our handlers a few times and say that we are requesting permission to approach your facility.
The person says, "Hold on, I'll patch you through." And then you see Angela come in. She's look like she's sitting at her desk drinking coffee. It's like, I take it then that everything was worked out.
Yes, things were successful. We would like to come and discuss the situation with you in person if that is sufficient.
All right. I'll send you my coordinates. We're over. She gives you the layout and stuff. Over here doing some work, but yeah, you're more than welcome to head my direction.
Thank you again for the information and for the open schedule, so to speak. We will see you shortly.
Well, she says we're even now, but
Yes,
gives you a wink.
and more so. Nonetheless, thank you very much. We will see you shortly.
All right. So that's what you guys do. All right. It takes about 2 days. Is there anything you guys want to do in those 2 days? Oscar's in the back to tank pretty much all the time as he's recovering.
Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Yeah, you're like Luke. You're just sitting there like.
We have like a combat room.
No.
No.
I'd like to speak with Oscar on the way there for sure.
Okay, you go into the medical room. Oscar's there. He can't respond to you because he's got the tubing and everything in him, and he looks a little bit better. His color's a little bit better, but he's, he can see you and he can hear you through, the speaker, but he can't really respond. The doctor's like, be brief.
I'll nod to him and say, Osk, it is good to have you back. As I know you cannot respond, but I have been trying to think back to our trial and if our decisions were the correct ones, but it doesn't seem to matter at this point. We will have to decide going forward what we will say to our master. I believe there's a large chance that both of us failed. But perhaps it helps that you actually can't speak right now, and I kind of smirk at him.
No, yeah, he Oz does not look happy. He does not look happy when you talk about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the main thing I wanted to do before arriving to the CSA, was have a few, at least maybe one more conversation with him, going back and forth, but I want to give, sufficient time to recover and stuff too.
Outside of leaving my room to eat, I will be meditating, not using any of my force powers, but just straight up meditating the entire 2 days.
Okay.
Almost, if you see him, it's like he's stewing inside. So, yep. That'll be my...
All right, anybody else?
And then I'll do something.
I'll be spending time at the helm, going through Mika's journals as thoroughly as possible, trying to find any information.
Make an investigation check. First off. What do you want to know, man?
Leads, connections, people that we, could still be pushing this operation.
You get a sense from what you got from Angela that they're going to be shutting that crap down. However, you are able to ascertain some very nice underworld possible context for something in the future, for maybe any future dealings, business, anything like that, that you kind of pull out. You spend a few hours doing this, sifting through names, researching, finding out who they are and stuff, and then you cross-reference that again back into the journals, things of that nature, of Mika, and get a good sense of like who's probably approachable, who's not, for what kind of things you're looking for, this kind of nature. So put in your character sheet, underworld contacts. That's what you get when you get a natural 20.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very nice.
All right.
So
when I make that discovery, I'll let the party know of some things I find.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm the only one that can actually read that. It's living. Well, functionally living.
All right. As we wrap this up, because I've got dinner waiting for me, J-Lo, anything you want to do? And then I'll go to you next, Johnny, and to wrap this up.
yeah, so I want to spend time, given all the meditation I had from the Force, working on that old droid-mounted blaster that I found, before we got captured and killed Mika.
Yeah, make a technology check with advantage. You feel enthusiastic about doing this.
So
You were able to get it done.
Okay, cool. So what I'm trying to do is, I don't know if it'll take multiple checks, but I want to reconfigure it so that I can eventually attach it to my droid.
You do it with no problems. You feel like the muse has come to you.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll just meditate on that as I'm working.
You look at the problem, you're like, I'm trying to put something too big on this, and then you think around with it. You're trying to maintain the same kind of power it has, but you reconfigure it. You work on it for a day, and you're able to get it smaller, but do the same kind of thing that you want to do before, which was not practical with the droid previously.
Awesome.
It's mild damage, but it's still damage, right? So it can still, instead of electrocute, it can shoot, and it shoots a ball to 1d6 plus 2.
Okay.
One shot
cool.
only.
Sure. Okay, awesome.
All right, and then Dr. Vornu.
Well, on the way back towards the starbase, I'll be teaching Zeta, my droid, my recipe for cookies so that I don't have to play around in the kitchen.
Make a technology check.
23.
They now have your recipe stored, but the droid lets you know that they are not capable of making cookies other than they can keep the recipe safe for you.
Oh.
He kind of looks at
One
his
of
hand.
them to make
They
the
look at their
cookies for
hands.
me.
He's like, not very good.
It'd be a matter of teamwork, boys. Come on.
Your droid just starts doing it like the droid version of laughing, and is teasing your other one.
All right.
You'd be better off building a cooking droid at this point.
Mornu will start to gather parts to go and make a Swedish cooking droid.
All right, make a investigation check to see what you have, and then we'll make a technology check.
18?
You have half what you need. Make a technology check if you think if it's even possible.
15.
It's going to take you a while to do something like that.
It's something to go for. It's a
I
life
do,
goal.
I do believe we could use an air fryer, though. Could you design one of those quickly?
I saw one on the Galactic Shopping Network.
Welcome back to the GSN. We've got a great deal for you folks today. Air frying pans. Listen, you don't even have to put the damn thing on the thing. All right.
Have a bleeding
Let's wait,
Sith around there
there's
that
more.
use the Sith Wow, the Sith Wow towel.
I mean, look,
Ready
it
to go
doesn't.
to
It just.
wipe up all your Sith
It's
blood.
dry. No Sith blood.
That former Transdoshian boxer, Georgius Furman.
It's awesome. Like, I used to be a Sith, but after my accident.
Unlimited power.
You too can be Osk.
The Palpatine car charger. It's unlimited power for you, Carl.
It's got my seal of approval.
You
And
can get done
Talrex.
in a quickie with your sticky.
Talrex,
66
last
Yes.
call for you. What would you like to do? Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I've got Din Din waiting for me, and I haven't eaten all day, and that hill really sucked my life like a vampire. So we're going to call it here. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying the content and stuff. We got some awesome stuff in the future coming up for you guys, which I really think you guys are going to enjoy. But with that, we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the crew, thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate it. Be safe. Make sure you wash your hands. Keep your social distancing. And we'll see you tomorrow for some fun May the 4th stuff. So looking forward to that. So see you tomorrow. Peace out.